Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Celestial Beauty, also known as Saturn in the 12th, where our main focus for now will be astrology and tarot. If this is your first time to my channel, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss any content from me going further. And if you would like to leave me a donation or you would like a personal reading from me, all of that information can be found in the description box below. So for today's reading, it is going to be an elemental reading. Each element will have their own reading. So, for example, the fire signs will be in one reading. So, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius have their own reading. The air signs have their own reading. The earth signs have their own reading, and the water signs have their own readings. So, I will go ahead and timestamp below so that you can jump ahead to which element suits your birth chart. I recommend watching your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. If you do not know what those are, go ahead and get your birth chart from a website offline. I think Cafe Astrology is really good, just so you can get that basic information, because a lot of these YouTube channels, if you are watching tarot, or astrology, they're going to refer to those three that I mentioned, your moon sign, your sun sign, and your rising sign. So figure out what those are, because a lot of times there are messages for you that aren't just based on your sun sign. Like, I know before I figured out my rising sign, I was never watching Aquarius readings, right? But after I figured out that my rising was in Aquarius, I started watching like Aquarius readings and seeing their horoscopes, and I was like, wow, this is, very on point. So pay attention to that, or get that information if you can. And like I said, if your sun, moon, and rising signs are all in different elements, go ahead and watch the different elemental messages so that you can receive all the messages that are meant for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, so I just want to get into the overall energy and meditative messages and images that I picked up in the downloads that I received prior to the reading and prior to me pulling any cards. So the first thing that I saw was like a beautiful sea turtle, like making its way to the sea from the sand onto the sea. And it gave me an indication that you were moving to calmer waters. And I also saw like a pearl. I'm still not really sure what that signifies, or how it correlates necessarily, but they were all kind of random. But I do know, like, I saw a T-Rex also after, and I do feel like I was able to correlate like the T-Rex and the turtle in a sense. And I feel like I just kept hearing wreaking havoc, like the T-Rex in a sense. Like when I saw the T-Rex, I just kept hearing wreaking havoc, like chaos, trampling. And you know how like T-Rexes have like little arms so they don't like have any reach? Like I really got the impression of like somebody trying to like overreach, you know what I mean? Like somebody trying to like jump to conclusions, or like, when somebody's really trying to like reach, when somebody is trying to grab whatever information they can to make it seem like you're the bad guy or whatever the case may be. Like I just got the sense of somebody is trying to reach to like conclusions that are like unobtainable or that aren't like reasonable. They're going to like lengths that they can't even go to. Like a T-Rex literally couldn't grab something that's a certain amount of length from it, right? Because its arms aren't physically long enough. So they're literally trying to reach for some shit that don't even exist or they can't even get to. Sorry, excuse my sniffling. It's allergy season. But yeah, I definitely got the sense of somebody really trying to reach. And turtles will get into their shells when they need to like protect themselves. And I feel like that is something that you are embodying. I feel like anybody coming into your life, trying to wreak havoc or chaos or trample over you or control you or have too much power over you. Like, cause T-Rex is powerful, right? So anybody who, like they were considered the most like dangerous, I think, of that time, right? Was the T-Rex. It was like the number one predator. But anybody that I think is trying to like dominate you in a sense, you are strategically like protecting yourself from. And so you're only coming out of your shell like, when turtles do, when you feel it's safe and when you feel like you need to or you should. And I think me seeing the turtle in the very beginning of the imagery of my meditation, just it swimming away, also just kind of confirmed that you are swimming away from whatever is trying to chase after you or reach for you, whatever is trying to like bring you unnecessary like chaos, or confusion, even I'm hearing. You are swimming away from, you're getting into like clearer waters. And this also made me think about how turtles, they will go lay all their eggs on the land, right? And then they'll leave their young and they'll go back out to sea and they kind of let their young kind of figure it out in a sense, like the young have to dig their way out of the sand, get all the way to the ocean, and half of those little turtles don't even make it. And then when they get to sea, another half of those don't make it because they get eaten by other sea creatures and stuff. So I say all that to say that I believe that you are kind of allowing people to stay in whatever state that they're in, right? Like how the baby turtles stay in the sand until they're ready to like come up and come out to the water. I think you're ready to kind of like let people really meet people with where they're at. So if their head is in the sand, right, you're going to allow them to kind of stay there and they can swim out to sea, right? If they want to, if they get to the sea, they can get to the sea. Not saying, I don't want the baby turtles to make it out to sea. I really do want to go help them. I actually have looked at multiple trips ongoing and helping turtles. Anyways, that's besides the point. But I think you're really fine, like leaving people in like the state of mind that they're in and allowing them to grow like by their own perseverance and their own will, like how those baby turtles have to really fight to get to the water and then fight. They're literally fighting like that whole first, part of their life. And I think you're finally like becoming okay with letting others get to the shore by themselves. Like I think, and we all do this, right? We all go through that phase where we're like, no, I want to help them. I want to get them to come, to the shore with me, or I'm going to help them because we want certain people to be on the journey with us. But I think you're finally realizing that not everybody, can be dragged along the sand and into the water and on the journey with you. And I think just how like, the mother turtle had to like go through all that and the whole cycle herself to get to the point where she could lay eggs and start the whole process again, that mother turtle had to do that all by herself, right? And so in contrast, you've done that all by yourself, right? So in your eyes, you're seeing now like, okay, well, I had to do the work in order to get to the, in order to get to the water. Like I really didn't have nobody holding my hand in order to get to the water and this and this and this, So I think you're finally seeing now that it's not your job to hold somebody's hand in order for them to get their head out of the sand or to drag them up out of whatever confusion or delusion that they are in. And I think because you've had to carry yourself and like through your journey and your healing, you want to ensure that whoever is going to come along your journey is willing to like do that work themselves and is willing to put in the work. Like you don't want to bring anybody along the journey that's going to be fighting you every step of the way. You know what I mean? Like that's just going to exhaust you, all the energy that you put into healing yourself, and then you're going to have resistance every step of the way from whoever you're dragging along with you. Like I think you're finally seeing now that you can't force anybody to go with you, you know what I mean, or see things how you want. You really have to meet people where they are and realize sometimes it sucks too because you think somebody's on the same wavelength as you, and then certain things transpire and you're like, oh my God, we're really not on the same page, or we're not the same, you know what I mean? Like we don't have the same values or whatever the case may be, you know, take it how it resonates. But I think you're finally seeing that the only people that you really should be willing to have on your journey at this point are the people that have put in the work, who show and have proved that they are willing to put in the work and have put in the work, to get to the water, like all the other, you know, all the other turtles, in order for them to make it alive for as long as they have, right? So I do truly feel as though you're swimming away from any type of havoc or any type of chaos, and moving to calmer waters and really learning to like go with the flow and learn how to like love people from afar, right? Because the turtle continues to swim away. It's not like it doesn't love its young, right? That it leaves in the water, not in the water, in the sand there when it's buried. You know what I mean? But it just knows that it's a part of the process. And I think you're at that acceptance stage of knowing, like, okay, well, if they make it, it's meant to be. You know what I mean? If they're able to meet me here on this mental level at a certain point, like then it's meant to be. And if it's not, it's not. I can't force it, you know. And I think you're really embodying that and trying to really accept that right now. So those are all the downloads and messages that I received in my meditation this morning. Let's go ahead and get into the cards. All right, fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Let's get into it. So honestly, I was drawn to y'all's energy first. Instantly, like when I started to shuffle or even decide on what element I was going to do first, honestly, like Aries was the first one to pop into my head. And I don't even think it's because it's the first in the zodiac. But honestly, I was just hearing like fire. So I think fire signs need some advice right now. And I was drawn to my Archeon tarot deck for the fire signs specifically. So let's see what cards I went ahead and pulled from that. And I just have them laid out here. I haven't turned any of them over. Besides, I think there was one that came out already turned over, so I already know what one of them is, one of the last cards. I do know what that one is because it came out, like I said, turned over. It's the Knight of Swords in the reverse here. But that was the last card, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. Oh, we got the Nine of Wands here. I feel like you're giving in to one of your passions, or you're getting close to being at the point where you can completely go for something that you're passionate about, or something, some creative pursuit or effort that you have been working like slowly, I'm hearing towards. You're going to be able to enjoy the benefits of that here soon. Like this guy here is laid back as if he's like, he's in bliss, he's in ecstasy, he's enjoying himself, right? And so I think you're going to be feeling that soon. Yeah, it's like something you're emotional about because it's his head is like leaning up and like resting almost on the full moon here. So it's something that is tied to your emotions. It's something that you gain a lot of fulfillment from. And I think you are going to enjoy basking in the efforts that you have put in, even though you may not see them right now, which is really cool for fire signs, because fire signs, they're all about like kind of go, go, go. Not that they're like necessarily like impulsive, because I know they get a bad rap for that. But I just mean like a Capricorn, for example, an earth sign, or a Taurus, right, isn't going to mind a slow, steady progress as much as a fire sign, because fire signs, not that they need instant gratification, but they like things to go at a faster pace because that's just how they are. That's their energy, and that's completely 100% fine. You know, you need each energy in its entirety, you know, to make things work. But anyways, I say all that to say that you will be able to rest and relax and bliss here, just as this man is here with his head back to the moon, enjoying himself, holding, up his wand. But he's not fighting, you know what I mean? Like he's in a victorious, like restful almost state here. Like he's at a point where he can lay back, So whatever you have been working on, um, that hasn't been getting you results as quickly as you may have wanted. I feel like you are going to be, like I said, laying in the benefits of that very soon. You are going to be receiving the bliss from the steps and like wands that you have forged, I'm hearing along the way. So let's see what you got next. Ooh, the star in reverse. Yeah, don't let the slow momentum discourage you. I think, like I said, because fire signs do like things to happen at a faster pace than possibly some other signs, that maybe you are getting discouraged, that something is not going to happen or not happen in the way that you had hoped. And even if that is the case, right? If it doesn't happen in the way you hoped, that's fine, right? Because as long as the end goal is relatively the same, you're still winning. So maybe you do need to let go of the one path that you have in your mind in order to get to your goal and realize that there's multiple paths that you can take to get to that same goal. Yeah, I'm just feeling like a lot of doubt, like a lot of like angst, like what did I do? Did I do something wrong? Like this girl she's also in a moon kind of here. I'm not sure if you guys can really tell because it's reversed in the way that I have the picture posted for this. But she is like holding her chest and kind of like looking down and looking within, like what, like looking, and I think you're kind of looking around to see like possibly if you dropped the ball somewhere or like, yeah, because it's like you're not seeing the results as quickly as you like. I just keep hearing that. And so I feel like you think maybe you've taken a wrong turn somewhere. And I honestly don't believe that you have. Oh, Seven of Cups. Okay, so I just turned another one over here. Seven of Cups. I just feel like you have a lot of options and you have a lot of emotions, like I said, attached to this in the very beginning. And so I think it's hard for you to tell like kind of what is reality right now because everything is kind of possibly up in the air. Um, like how this horse is flying with the girl over the Seven of Cups here. And Seven of Cups like usually indicates like choices as well. And maybe that's why the star card was in reverse here, and maybe that's why you're looking back and looking at yourself like, did I do something wrong? Did I take a wrong path? I had a lot of choices, but I went with these choices. And I think you're doing a lot of like not second guessing, but reevaluating. But I think regardless here, like the options still exist. Like I said, like there's still multiple roads that you can take to get to your end goal, and you're almost at your end goal here with the Nine of Wands. Like I said in the very beginning, like you're so close to being able to like bask in what you've been working so hard for. So do not get discouraged here, and know that there still are many roads and many options that will be just as fulfilling for you as the ones that didn't end up panning out the way that you thought. So try to be open-minded and realize that you do have other options and realize that there are other ways to get to your end goal. Like I said, it's all about being adaptable. So it's not always about being a survival of the fittest, like my dad told me. It's more about your ability to adapt. And I've said this many times, and I should probably get a trademark before somebody tries to steal it from me, but we don't adapt to our environment. I'm sorry. Our environment doesn't adapt to us, we adapt to it. So we can't expect our environment to adjust to us. We have to adjust to our environment, whether that's via our perception or whatever. So open your mind and look around you and see the options that and the roads that you still have to take to get to your end goal, because you're so, so, so close here with the Nine of Wands. Ooh, the Three of Cups in reverse. Yeah, there's a lot of worry here about if you're going to make the right choice or not. And honestly, with how many options you have, even if two or three of them are wrong, you still have four or five other options, right? That are still going to lead you to your end goal. So I think you need to stop worrying about your decisions so much and take more risks, because doing nothing is going to keep you stagnant. And fire signs don't like to be stagnant. They don't like to be stuck. So you have to make some type of movement, right? And like I said, I know you want to make movement, because fire signs are not about sitting still. They don't sit still. They're not earth signs. They like to, and I'm not saying that earth signs are at all lazy or anything. They just don't mind sitting back as much as fire signs do. So I think whatever situation or whatever you've been working on, requires more like strategization, excuse me. It requires more patience. It requires more time than you are used to. And that is why it's like harder for you to make these decisions, even though you know you have more than one decision, because you're used to everything being like boom, 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 you know? And because this situation requires, like I said, more strategizing and more calculation, you're really having to like analyze a little bit more than I think you're used to. But know that, excuse me, like I said, not only are you so close to the finish line here, the Nine of Wands, you're got 10 and then you're at the Knight, right? But you also have so many options, the Seven of Cups here, to get to your end goal. So who cares if you have to take a detour here or there and it takes you a little bit longer to get to your end goal? That's fine. You're still going to get there. I feel like you're still guaranteed to get there. I think you just don't know which option to take first, per se. And as a fire sign, I'm sure you're just like, well, I just want the option that's going to get me there the quickest, right? Like, you don't want to wait any longer, which makes sense, especially if you put a lot of work into something, the Nine of Wands. But you will be basking in this bliss and this victory soon enough. All right, then we got the Knight of Swords here in the reverse, which was the last card that I said flipped out at the end here. Yeah, and I'm just hearing be okay sitting down. Be okay taking a pause. I know that that's very hard for fire signs, like I said, because they're very like go go go. They're very like boom boom boom. Like they are very action oriented, which is great because you need people like that. You need people to like sit down, and you also need people that are going to be the initiators as well. But I think because you're like not necessarily out of your element, but out of your normal role here as the initiator, and having to take a step back here and allow things to come into fruition, it's giving you like a little bit of angst, like I said. But I keep hearing that you will be able to lay steady. I don't know why that word, why that phrase came to mind, but you'll rest easy, I guess. More like a familiar term, but you'll be able to rest easy. And it's not even like he's resting easy. Like, he really looks like he's laying back here. If you really look at the Nine of Wand cards here, he's laying back like he is just, yeah, the word I keep hearing is bliss, but yeah, like pleasure, like he's not worried about anything in this picture at all. It's like he's given himself to the universe. He's basking in the moon, the fire underneath him. So try as hard as you can to like stay grounded and not get in your feelings or get too impatient about any delays that occur regarding your desired outcome, however that resonates, whatever you're working towards or whatever you've been working on. Give yourself grace. The Knight of Swords here really indicates to me that you need to slow down your thoughts and also accept that this isn't like a swift process. It is something that needs to be done slowly and more calculated in order for it to really have the foundation that you are going to want and require in the future. So, as annoying as it is right now, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, know that this kind of limbo period that you're in right before the Ten of Wands, right before your completion, right before your success, is necessary. It is creating the groundwork and the fine tuning and the last little like threads, I guess we'll say, to ensure that all the work that you've put in already doesn't fall through. So let's see, I pulled a spirit animal card for each element. So let's see what you got. Oh, humpback whale, singer. Cute. Card says, sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. What did I say? Align with your purpose and the power of your soul. Yeah, so just like I said, don't get discouraged. Like you know what the fuck is up. You know that you've put in fucking 8 wands before this 9 wands. You know you only gotta put in one more. Don't get discouraged because you haven't seen the results that you're so used to seeing so quickly. You know what I mean? Like, don't be worried about the 7 options and not picking the right option. It says right here, your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. So just like I picked up earlier, even if you pick 1 or 2 wrong cups or 1 or 2 wrong paths or whatever, that's not going to stop you from getting to your goal. Sure, it may be a detour. It might take you like a little bit longer to get there because you took a detour, you know what I mean? But you're still going to get there. You're still guaranteed your success. You will still be aligned with your purpose and the power in your soul, like it says in this card here. Okay, so let's read from the the guidebook here. Sorry, Mercury retrograde, so can't really speak. Let's read from the guidebook here and see if we can get any more spirit animal messages for you to correlate with this reading here. It says humpback whales are the record keepers of the world. Whale people can connect to this ancient knowledge, but often do not understand where their knowledge comes from. Humpbacks are the peaceful bards of the sea. The males sing along complex ballads to court the female. They often sing in unison. Their soulful songs are frequencies that release tension and heal the ocean with love. Okay, let me take a pause from this. I'm hearing right now that I don't know if any of you have singing bowls, or maybe if you can get access to some music online that has singing bowls in it, but I think that would be really helpful for you in grounding yourself, especially if you do have a high energy like a lot of fire signs do, depending on where everything is placed in your chart. I think that would be really beneficial for you to help you slow down. Okay. It says humpback is a great totem for the musician and the composer. Singing is a powerful act that links us to our eternal soul. Music unlocks hidden joy, inner knowing, and healing. Yeah, so maybe you are working on like a creative pursuit. Like I said, I was feeling something that was like passionate. So maybe you are working on something that has to do with music. It says humpback travel long distances using sonar to find their way. See sonar as in like your intuition. You need to use your intuition to find your way and guide your way. Like sonar can travel hundreds of miles and is like asking a question and then waiting patiently for the answer to come back to you. That's what I said. You need to wait patiently. You need to be more patient. I know that's very hard to ask fire signs to do, especially if you have a lot of fire in your chart or if like your Mars is in a certain aspect and is ruled by a fire sign. It says humpback mothers carefully tend to their newborns. They gently push them to the surface to breathe and teach them the way to live. If humpback is your totem, you have strong protective forces around you. Your telepathy and knowing are strong. You will navigate the vast ocean of life with grace and sure success. I said that. I said you are assured success. I literally said I don't think any road is really long. It may be a detour, but you are still guaranteed your success. So once again, you are confirmed right here. Call upon humpback to teach you to unlock your many gifts. Like I said, Seven of Cups, many gifts, many options, and help you remember your history and place in the world. So yeah, don't forget your fire. Do not forget those 9 wands that you have planted in the ground here. He's holding the 9th one up here in the card. Don't forget that all the stuff that you've done, all the options that you have to move forward to still get to your goal. Be grateful that you have that many options to still get to your goal, even if some of them are detours. Who cares? You're still about to get it. Just be patient. Like I said, I know that's hard for fire signs, but just be as patient as you can. Give yourself grace. Sing if you have to pass the time, quite literally, like it says here. Singing is a powerful act that links us to our eternal soul. So if you need to, sing. I love to sing, especially like when I'm going through it or I'm feeling some type of way. I love emotional music. So maybe that's something that you need to do. Maybe that will even help you realize, I don't know, in some way, shape, or form, which one of these 7 options is the best option. I don't know. Like I said, even if you pick the wrong one, you're still guaranteed to get to your goal and your success. You've already put too many wands in the ground for it to not be successful. So I feel like those are all the messages that I got for you, fire signs. Let's move on. Alrighty, so water signs. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Let's see what the cards got for you. I was drawn to my Nordic, I think it's Magical Nordic Tarot deck for you guys. And some of these cards are turned over and some of them aren't turned over. The only ones that are turned over are the ones that ended up falling out turned over. So we'll see what we end up getting here. Your first one did fall out turned over, and it was you, the King of Cups. Understanding. Cups represents the elements of water. So this is definitely your card. So maybe you are feeling very in your element, or maybe you're feeling, I'm hearing that you're understanding, like it says at the bottom here, you're understanding like more of your feelings and why you feel certain ways and why you flow certain ways. He's sitting above a river right here. Why you flow the way you do, why you like your vibe, like your actual vibe, and not like what people are projecting onto you or what you have been conditioned to believe that you need to represent yourself as. I'm hearing it's like you're getting like an inner peace right here. He's sitting at almost in meditation, like he's in a meditative like stance here. Well, it's not a stance, he's sitting, but anyways, I think you're finally understanding, like I said, why you feel the way you feel about certain things. And it kind of feels good. It's almost like, wow, like I never knew why I reacted this way to things, or I never knew why I felt like this. And it's kind of almost nice, as tough as it is to have like hard pills to swallow or hard truths to realize. it's almost giving you peace of mind because you're like, oh, okay, there is like reasoning behind it. It's not just random, like I do, oh, okay, because now you feel like you can do something about it now that you've recognized it, now that you have the awareness to it, right? So I think now that you are understanding your real feelings and what's really underneath the surface here, right? Because he's sitting on top of the water, um, you are able to give yourself more understanding and the ways in which you have like treated people or acted towards people. And I don't mean that in a negative way, I just mean all in general. I feel like because you have this understanding now of why you've been the way that you've been, you're able to see the different roles that you have played in different scenarios throughout your life, and that is for some reason giving you some peace, which is great. So let's get into the next card here. Ooh, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like there's an opportunity that you are turning down. And maybe it is because of this newfound perspective or this new peace that you have realized or acquired. Maybe you were, like I said, you're understanding your feelings more. And so you're less willing to put yourself in certain scenarios or put your like extend yourself to certain opportunities when you know how you feel now, or you know you won't be able to be in that space the same way, if that makes sense. And I know you guys probably see it up at the top. It says luck, and I don't believe that you're having any bad luck here. I'm not sensing that at all, but I do feel as though there is something that you are turning down. Yeah. The next card here is Four of Cups in the reverse, and it says awareness up at the top. It's like you don't even want to pay attention to it. You don't even want to see that it's there. It's like out of sight, out of mind. I think you know that if you look at it, it's going to like distract you in a sense, and you enjoy this, like I said, this understanding and this sense of like self acceptance and like awareness. I'm hearing that you're not really willing to, yeah, like I said, put yourself in certain scenarios or situations in which you're not going to be fulfilled, or are going to bring you back to a place of confusion in yourself and your self-worth. Yeah, I'm hearing for some reason, like, I don't know, this probably sounds weird, but it'll resonate with whoever it's supposed to. But I'm hearing like you're dumping as much awareness as you can back into yourself with the Four of Cups here in reverse. Like it's like facing towards me, like you're dumping it back into yourself. Um, I don't think you care if the decisions that you're making right now don't make sense to other people because they're not aware of what's really going on internally with you and the steps that you've taken internally and the changes that have happened internally, the revelations that you've had recently. So you don't really care if they don't get it. Yeah, and I think with the next card here, the Four of Swords, in the reverse, it says recuperation. Yeah, I feel like if and when you are listening to what other people have to say about your decisions, it's only creating like chaos and confusion in your mind. So you would rather, like I said, not hear it at all. Like out of sight, out of mind. It's like you know when you hear it or you take it in, even if you don't agree with it, it's going to intrude on your own recuperation, your own mental recuperation, right? That's why you want to stay in this King of Cups energy. That very first card that came out, he's like in a meditative, happy, understanding state here. So I think anything that is jeopardizing kind of your mental recuperation, you're not having it. I think you're in a place right now in your life where you need to recuperate and you are unable to if your thoughts and everyone is like against you here with the Four of Swords like pointing up right here because it's in the reverse. Like So if your thoughts are stabbing at you, especially your negative thoughts or any words from anyone else, because swords here is like thoughts, words, intellect, all of that. So if your thoughts and other people's words are poking holes in your mind and creating anxiety for you, then you're not going to be able to recuperate, right? And I think you are realizing that. And like I said in the beginning, you're really understanding your feelings now. I think you're really understanding that people really have an effect on you, and other people's words and the way that they view you really does have an effect on you. As much as you don't want it to or you didn't think it did, it does have an effect on you. And as upset as you want to be with yourself about allowing these things to happen over time, you're seeing now that like, okay, like these do have an effect on me. Let me kind of like distance myself from this. Let me not go here. Let me not, in order to protect your energy. And that's good. Of course there's stuff that bothers all of us that we wish didn't bother us, but at least if we have the awareness that it bothers us, we can make adjustments, right? And I think that you're very happy that you have the awareness and understanding to be able to do that at this point in time now, whereas before you weren't privy to it. You didn't know, that you were affected by these things in the way that you are. Yeah. Oh, the next card. It says Page of Cups, playfulness. Yeah, and that's allowing you to become way more playful. Like you're turning away from like anything that could possibly disrupt your peace so that you can remain in a place of peace. Like you guys can see here that the first card and the last card here are very similar. They're both over a pond. They're both in between mountains. There's a rainbow over both of them. There's a bear in both of them. There's fish in both of them. So this further confirms for me that you taking the steps away from the things and the people and the scenarios that jeopardize the understanding that you have found for yourself, you are ensuring your playfulness and your happiness in the future here. Like she's filling her cup here. He has his, and in the very beginning card of the King of Cups, he has his off to the side in the Page of Cups. She's filling it up here. So don't think or don't let anybody else manipulate you into thinking that because you're not taking these opportunities in which they may feel as lucky or they think you should take, that you're not going to be able to refill your cup at the end here with the Page of Cups. She's literally filling up her cup here in the water. She still ended up on the same path here, but if anything, like this one's more bright. This one has more fish. But the bear is still there, right? The spirit animal is still there at the side. If anything, I think maybe he's a little bit closer. I can't really tell. But there's enough similarities, like I said, to make the correlation that you're on the right path. And you controlling your thoughts and your own destiny is doing nothing but good for you. You are not missing out on anything. If anything, the stuff that you are denying and not going for is actually leading you into a direction of more playfulness and more a happier future that you didn't even think you were capable of. Like you didn't even see, like both of them here, the King and the Page of Cups here, they both have their eyes closed. So it's something that you didn't even see. It's almost like you're going into like a rebirth here because you've made this realization with the King of Cups, right? And you have this new understanding within yourself and how you feel and why you feel certain ways. It's like you're rebirthing here into the Page of Cups because the Page is before the King, right? It's more of like a childlike energy. That's why it says playfulness at the bottom here. So you're able to play around more with your feelings than you ever were before. Now that you really understand why you feel certain things, you feel more confident in exploring different things and expressing your feelings in different ways that you didn't realize now that you really understand things. So this is very beautiful energy for you, water signs. We got 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck, which says responsibility up at the top. Yeah, and I think you're just releasing any type of responsibility that anybody has put on you about either their own life or how you are supposed to conduct your life. Um, yeah, you are releasing those burdens of anything that's not necessarily a responsibility, especially people's feelings, I'm hearing. You're not responsible for other people's feelings, and maybe that's another understanding or revelation that you have had recently is you're not responsible for everyone's feelings. There's some shit that people got to work through on their own time. They can't work that shit out on you or through you. You know what I mean? Like, you can only do so much. You're not always responsible for other people's feelings. And don't let other people manipulate you into thinking that you are responsible for their feelings. And this could be you or this could be somebody else. So take it how it resonates. But have some integrity and some accountability for how you feel. Yes, we can have effect on other people. Like, we should be conscientious of how we can affect other people, but people can't solely make you responsible for all of their feelings, especially if they have past trauma and other things that have altered their perception into seeing things a certain way. You know, like, if someone has trust issues, a lot of us has trust issues, right? If they have not worked through that and they get into their next relationship and they try to make you feel as though their trust issues or their lack of trust in the relationship is your responsibility, right, to fix, or even if it's not yours to fix, like, it's just your responsibility to, like, be fragile with them, let's say, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, I have trust issues, so this and this, and it's like, yeah, I can be to an extent. I can understand that you have trust issues. Yes, totally. I totally can. However, I'm not the one that's responsible for creating those trust issues for you, right? I'm not the one that created the wound, right? That was whoever was before me. So I'm not responsible, like it says here, responsibility. I'm not responsible for the wound, and I'm not responsible or required to deal with the aftermath of what you now feel because of due to a lack of trust now that you have. But I can be gentle and have a level of awareness and knowing that, you know, you were honest with me about having the trust issues in the first place. But like I said, like, a lot of people will make their feelings like your responsibility, right? Like, try to give another example. Somebody's having a bad day, or they come into work and they've got a shitty attitude or whatever, and then they bring that shitty attitude to you, right? Like, it's like, okay, well, it's not my fault that you had a bad day. It's not my fault that your car didn't start. It's not my fault that all of this happened. But now it's like, you know, for some reason they feel as though, like, either A, you should already know what the fuck is going on with them, or now all of a sudden, like, you're responsible for, I don't know, like, the aftermath of how they feel. And if you don't handle that correctly, then they're just going to blow up or what the fuck ever, you know? It's like, you're not responsible for how other people feel. Like, yes, you can be gentle with people if you know that they're not in a good place, but you can only do so much to make somebody feel better. So in, like, my first scenario, you can only do so much to ensure somebody that you're not doing some shit without it before it becomes toxic, right? You can be communicative and let them know, like, boom, boom, I'm doing this and that, you know. But I definitely wouldn't recommend, or nor would I ever suggest that you allow them to, like, go through your phone because they have trust issues, right? Like, that's a big red flag. Like, that's what I mean. You shouldn't allow somebody else's feelings to be your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to now cradle them through the next relationship and ensure them that they can trust you now because somebody else broke them in the past, right? So if the requirement is now in this new relationship, they need to look through your phone because they're so hurt through the last one, that's not your responsibility. Just like it's not your responsibility in the second scenario to ensure that that person has a good day, whoever came in mad at work or whoever met you with that gross energy or whatever that you didn't deserve. It's not your responsibility to either A, make sure they have a good day, or B, make sure that they're not mad at you, whatever. It's not your responsibility, you know? Like, some people really just got to handle their shit. You know, as, like, water signs, especially like Cancers, because they're like the mother. They like to, not coddle, I don't want to say coddle, but they like to be there for people because they're emotional, right? So they like to extend that emotional shoulder, you know what I mean? Like, I'm here for you to cry on, I'm here for you, you know? But I think you're really understanding, like I said, that's not your responsibility anymore. Okay, so let's see. Oh, wow, guys, I can't make this up. You guys got the grizzly bear for your spirit animal oracle card. And there's literally a bear in both, like, I can't make it up, guys. It says, I am indestructible. I honor my intuition and go where it leads. Love and gentleness are my real strength. I never give up. I will succeed. You know what's crazy, guys? I literally just noticed there's literally a salmon in his mouth right there. Like, excuse me, right there. There's a salmon in both of the page and the King of Cups, and there's a bear in both of these, and that's literally what y'all got for your oracle card. It's so crazy. Like, I literally shuffled all of these and pulled one out for each element and just left them until I did the readings. So I really didn't know that this was here, so that's super fucking cool. But yeah, it's like I said, y'all are really in your element right now. You're really in your power, like it says right here next to the grizzly bear, power. Like, you are indestructible right now. You are going with the flow. You can see the flow in the water here that the salmon are going with, especially in the King of Cups here. There's literally like little waves in the water, or not waves, but little, I don't know. You'll see it. But yeah, now that you're really understanding how you feel and why you feel certain things, it's getting way easier for you to trust your intuition, listen to your intuition, hear your intuition, and follow it where it leads, right? It says, I honor my intuition and go where it leads. It says, love and gentleness are my real strength. And that's so true, I feel like, for water signs, right? Their gentleness is really their strength. Their love and their gentleness, they love in such a different way than other signs, right? Because they love in such a deep way. And like I said, now that you understand the depth of your emotions and how deeply you feel and how easy it is for you to feel things as much as you don't want to sometimes, you're able to adjust. You're able to recognize what is and isn't for you, as in, like, I'm not going to go for this because I already know it's going to make me feel some type of way, right? As before, I think you would go into things like, okay, well, I'll just see how I feel. And now you know going into it, well, no, I know how I'm going to feel now, you know? Okay, so let's read from the guidebook here for your spirit animal oracle card. See if we can get any more messages. It says, the grizzly bear is a tremendous totem for strength and wisdom. A person with this totem is an old soul with many lessons already learned. Awakened intuition and introspection combined with primordial power in grizzly people. In winters, bears hibernate and birth their young while sleeping and dreaming. Didn't I say that? Like, you were literally being rebirthed from this King of Cups into this Page of Cups. I said that earlier. One of the most dedicated mothers in the wild. Like I said, you have this mother energy going on. You want to, like, help people through their emotions, but you have to realize that you can't always help people through their emotions. They got to do shit. You can only help people as much as they want to be helped, and as much as, like, their perception allows them to, like, see in their own level of awareness. And mothers also have to step back and let their young go out, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, a mother isn't doing their job, and don't anybody get mad at me, but the job for a mother, correct, like, societal wise, even in nature, right, is for the mother, or the parents, to get the child ready to be out on its own and be independent, right? So I think you're realizing in the ways in which you need to allow people to have their own independence and not coddle them as much emotionally, I guess, anymore. But it says, one of the most dedicated mothers in the wild, Grizzly shows fierce protection and tenderness towards her young. Grizzly bears emerge in spring with new wisdom from the dream time, which gives the grizzly person a strong link to spirit. They are often the chosen totems of shamans. Another obvious lesson from Grizzly is their need for time alone. Bear mastery teaches full potential only after many lives dedicated to the inner journey. Yeah, so maybe you're protecting your inner child right here. Like I said, you're finally realizing why you feel the way you feel. And maybe that's making you realize that these feelings stem back to like your childhood, the ways in which you were raised and treated as you were a child. And honoring and acknowledging those developed feelings and conditions as a child has helped you grab onto your inner child here with the Page of Cups and the playfulness in a way that, like, I'm hearing like you'd forgotten about. It says, at the time the soul bursts into the light and becomes a blessing to all who are fortunate enough to know and be loved by these incredible beings. The bear. So yeah, you're really understanding the depths of your emotion, the capacity of the love that you really have to give, and retracting that love and that energy from anything that is going to drain you or not serve you in the right way or give back to you in the ways that you really deserve here. So take some time by yourself here. Like I said in the beginning, it looks like he's like meditating here. He's in a meditative position here, and she's also by herself here at the Page of Cups at the stream. So take some time by water if you need to. I know I've heard a lot of water signs, even not water signs, a lot of people just in general feel very calm next to water. They've actually done studies that when you're next to water, it actually has calming effects on our brain and our body. So if you do have access to water, or you're near an ocean or even a river or something like that, and if you're not, take a very cleansing bath if you can. Throw a bunch of bath salts, oils, even coconut oil, not just like essential oils and smell good stuff, but like throw your crystals in there. I'm hearing like smoky quartz if you have. Throw a smoky quartz in there, or a rose quartz would be really good as well for that heart chakra. But definitely a smoky quartz for any confusion that you may have, or as you're trying to release or let go of, like I said, like the leftover feelings of responsibility you have for other people's feelings. Like as you're kind of like letting go here and like shedding here, I feel like smoky quartz would be very good for that. Trying to see if I hear anything else for you, water signs. I don't think so. I think that's it. Let's move on. Air signs. Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And I'm laughing right now because when I first tried to record this, I said Leo. So maybe y'all are dealing with the Leo right now. I don't know. Or maybe you're dealing with like some fire energy. Or maybe you all are really feeling yourselves. Leo are the sun. They represent the sun, or the sun represents Leo, however you want to say it. And the sun has to do with our identity in astrology, and what most people like identify with and to, right? Like their sun sign. So yeah, maybe you want to be like front and center. And I'm hearing like not even front and center in other people's, but in your own life, like you're making yourself a priority right now, I'm hearing. But I have the pile of cards for you here. Some of them were already turned over upon the shuffle, and other ones I have not turned over yet because, like I said, when they fell out, they didn't end up turned over. So as we go through the pile here, we will break down the energy. So the first card here looks like what? The Eight of Wands. And for the air signs, I was really drawn to my Salvador Dali deck. It's a new deck that I've gotten, but it's so vibrant and beautiful. I don't know. I was just like each element, I was led to a different tarot deck. So this is just what I was led to for the air signs. But like I said, the first card that came out for you all was the Eight of Wands here. And the first thing I heard instantly was internal conflict, which doesn't surprise me for air signs. We're very in our heads, and I say we because I'm an air sun and an air rising. I actually have quite a bit of air in my chart. But I think air signs are very familiar with internal conflict. They like to contemplate things, they like to analyze things. They're not necessarily impulsive unless other indications in their birth chart say that they are. Perhaps if they have more fire in their chart or anything like that, could possibly indicate that they could be more gung-ho. But as you can see, there is a man with like 3 swords up, and it looks like he's like kind of defending himself, and then there's like 3 men kind of coming at him, like pointing at him. I'm not really sure what's happening there, but he looks as though it's in a defensive state. It looks as though they're in some type of disagreement. So I think maybe your head and your heart might be at conflict here. There's like a book up at the top here, and I feel like there's something that you see like clearly on paper, and that might not be like figuratively, right? Like something, I mean like something logically. There's something that you see logically, but your heart wants to like convince you something else. And air signs are usually pretty good at putting their head over their heart, putting logic over emotion. But like I said, if there's other indicators in their chart, or other planets in certain areas, then this could be very hard for them to do, is to put their head over their heart. I think this internal conflict is like draining you. It looks like there's like almost like a mosquito type thing off to the left here, and it is putting its little sucker or whatever they're called into like the picture where the men are all in like some type of conflict here. And so I think this is really draining you, and or it's leaving you in a place of defense. I'm hearing like it's like something is forcing you or backing you into a corner here. It's like all of them are up against this dude, right? And even though he has 3 swords, like he's still like, whoa, whoa, hold up, you know? Yeah, I think you feel backed into a corner, and you're like not even exactly sure how. Like with the book up here, I'm feeling like it's like you're looking back and seeing like how did I end up in this corner? Like you're looking back on like previous pages, like how did this happen? Like wait a minute. That in itself, with you having to go over and over and over again, like how you got to this point, is just tiring you out, because it's not making sense. No matter how many times you go back and reread the chapters and analyze like what happened in the past for you to get to this point, it's not making sense. And it's leaving you like drained and just sucked dry, and in a place where you're not even able to defend yourself. You don't even have the energy necessarily to defend yourself. You have 3 swords. He's got 3 swords in his hand, and he's still, backed in a corner. So yeah, 9 of Wands next. Wait, there's the next card here. It's like I'm hearing like somebody's trying to like block the path, like you shall not pass, like in the Lord of the Rings, like the pathway. Like they don't want you to see the end of the tunnel. They don't want you to see the light at the end of the road. I mean, like they want you to like legit like lay in the corner that they've backed you into. Like you can see there's like a creature here, up at the upper right here, I guess because it's upside down. But it's quite literally in a corner, right? Like I said. And I think like I'm hearing like you're trying to resist this, right? You're trying to resist this corner, but this person has made things so confusing, right? That you're unable to see how to get through, or how to make it work, quite honestly. And I think that's why you've been sifting back through the pages. Like I said, you've been doing so much like looking back. You've been doing so much looking back because you're trying to figure out, like I said, like how did I get to this point? And I think whoever backed you into the corner like ensured that you didn't know how you got there. You know what I mean? So that you couldn't see the way out, per se. You know what I mean? Because if you don't understand, then how can you get out, right? Like It's like they want you in a state of mental confusion, I'm hearing. Like what, but like avidly as they walk down the path though, like they want you to lay in the corner that they put you in. And then I don't know if you guys can see this because the card's upside down. And when I take a picture of this, it's going to be that way. But there's a man walking down the path here, like not even looking at the creature or whatever that's laying up in the corner. I'm pretty sure he's like walking away from it. Let me look and turn it over. Yeah, it's like they want you to lay in the corner, not notice the path, and then they're going to take the path without you. Man, what the fuck kind of shit is that? You know, convince me to come down a path just to box me in a corner and then not even let me see the rest of the path so I can get out? What the fuck? Yeah, that's some like straight like manipulative shit right there. I don't like it. Yeah. Air signs don't like mind games. I'm not gonna say like we play mind games. We can play mind games. We can, and we're good at them. So, but we definitely don't go. I don't feel as though definitely healed air signs, maybe some lower level like young air signs will go out their way to play some stupid mind games until they grow out of that shit. But we're not gonna go out of our way to put ourselves in a mind game, especially when we're healed and we're on a healing journey and we have good intentions for the relationship or the connection or whatever it may be, you know? So we definitely don't like being fooled into believing that like our reality isn't what it is. I mean, who does? Now that's not just air signs, like nobody likes that shit. So let's see. Ooh, the world. Okay. Damn. Yeah, this shit was, I hate to say it, but it was almost like this was meant to be like it's almost like you needed to end up in this corner so that you could realize what the fuck was going on. Like you really thought you were just on a happy journey up until you was left in the corner, right? And so being left in the corner was like your wake up call per se. And maybe that's why you have so much internal kind of conflict going on right now here, right? Is because you're like, how did I not see this sooner? How did I not see these three motherfuckers behind me, right? Like coming at me. How did I not see myself going into this corner? How did I not see, right? There's like a face like crying in the background here of the world. And it's like, you're almost like upset at yourself. I'm hearing like from being chained, like these three women here that are standing. I don't know if you guys can see it, but they're literally have chains like all around their neck and they're connected all the way to the face in the background. So maybe you are upset with yourself for being attached to certain ideas or to certain people or a certain outcome that ended up not panning out the way that you had expected. But with the world card right here, it's like it needed to happen. Like you needed this wake up call. And now if anybody was abused or literally left like, you know, like literally fighting, like I'm never, ever, ever going to say that you deserve that or anything like that. But what I am saying is whatever scenario that isn't that dramatic, as in being beat or a victim or anything like that, happened to like wake you up. You know, like the universe will shake shit up when you are like quote unquote not on the right path or when you are taking like an unnecessary detour that is really going to like hinder you or hinder your true calling, right? Like they'll let you take a detour if it's still about to get you to your path later on, but not a detour that's about to fuck up everything, right? So I feel like whatever situation led you to the corner or to the dead end at the maze, you know, when you go through a maze and you take a wrong turn, right? And then there's a dead end and you gotta like retract, like whatever that is that's led you to a dead end was like divine timing to get you to go into like a different direction. It was like But the world, quite literally here with the world card and the universe stepping in to redirect you. And it's definitely hurting you to see yourself and see the attachments that you've made that weren't as authentic as you believed they were. And I think that's where, like I said, your internal conflict is coming from, and it's draining you to have these realizations, like I said. So, oh, and is this like the Page of Pentacles in reverse? Yeah, I'm hearing that you're handing back whatever somebody gave to you, like whatever they offered in the beginning. Yeah, it's like you're giving it back. You're like, you know what? I don't want this anymore. This isn't what I thought it was. This isn't what you said it was. This led me down to a dead end. This isn't going anywhere. There's no growth. There's no opportunity for growth. There's no, like, there's a tree at the bottom here below the hand. It's like, I can't see a future anymore now that this has happened. So I'm giving back what you acted like you gave me, right? What was never really true in the first place. Yeah, it's like if somebody had offered you a relationship or had offered you stability, had offered you something that ended up not being the case, like whatever the offer was that convinced you to like go down the path, right? Or go down the journey with this person. It's like you're giving it back. You're like, yeah, I don't know. I don't see any future in this. I don't see any birth. I don't see any growth. I don't see, yeah, prosperity in this. So I'm giving it back. Like, here you go. You can have it back. If it wasn't real to begin with, I don't want it. Yeah, air signs generally don't want nothing that's going to put them in a mental state of confusion, right? And so if you've already put me in a mental state of confusion and shown me that this isn't going anywhere and you're willing to lead me down a dead end, I don't want this. Okay, and then we got the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Damn. Yeah, air signs like, take this shit back. You've been lied. You done said shit behind my motherfucking back. You got 3 swords in my back. You done said shit to my face. 2 fucking swords to the front here too. Got 2 in the ground. You done laid ground on where you fucking been talking about me. Like, I'm good. Yeah, you don't want it. Whatever somebody offered to you that did not pan out, if they are coming back to see if you are willing to, and I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying if they do, it's a no. Like, it's a straight up fucking no. You see the deceit, you see the lies, you literally see it all for what it is. And that's why you were crying here in the world card in the very middle. You're like, damn, you about to stab me 5 times, 3 times in the back, 2 in the front. Like, that shit hurts, you know? Like, that's why you're crying. Fuck. And think I don't see that shit? There's like this little, like, I don't know if y'all see, but there's like this silhouette in red walking away from the person who has all the swords in them, and the dog, like, looks like they're chasing them low key. And yeah, they're like walking away, like, as if they've like gotten away with something. Like, nah, like, you fucking see the lies, you see it all. And to know that it came from somebody that you thought you had growth with, the Page of Pentacles right here with the baby hand, it's upsetting. And that's definitely why you are in a mental conflict here. Like, there's too much deceit, there's too much lies, too much bullshit, too much conflict. Like, all like unbeknownst to you. It's like you didn't even realize, like I said, you didn't even know the path you were being led down. You didn't know that you were about to be thrown into a corner. You just didn't know. And that shit's eating at you because air signs are, like I said, they're usually like steps ahead of people. You know what I mean? So if we've gotten comfortable enough with you to not feel like we got to be on our tiptoes like that, then that's really no, I don't want to say detrimental, but that hurts us more because it's like I didn't feel like I needed to do that, and clearly I did. So that's sad, and that's like I said right here with the World card, as you can see, like that image is like crying because it hurts to know that, like I said, somebody that you thought that you had growth with and a future with, um, has been deceiving you in some way, shape, or form. And that doesn't have to be like physically, right? That's like somebody doesn't have to cheat on you to deceive you. You know what I mean? Somebody could just like really not feel the way that they feel about you, or be hiding their feelings, or they could be not who they say they are. You can date somebody for years and not really know them, you know what I mean, until certain things happen or certain scenarios transpire and you see certain people's colors, right? So I definitely think your inner conflict is coming from a combination of like you not seeing it or not knowing where it came from and not seeing from jump or what happened along the way, but also from having like the realization that this is the reality now. And it's sad to know that it wasn't what you thought the whole time. So let's pull over your spirit animal oracle card. Got the white Sag protector. It says, you are an old soul. Your best friend is nature. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go. Awaken to the powerful force within you. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. Yeah, get out of your head, air signs. I know that's really hard, and I know that's something I gotta do too. That message is for me too. It says right here, your best friend is nature. Get out in nature. Do whatever you can to get out of your mind for a little bit. I know that's very, very hard for air signs. Like I said, I'm speaking for myself here too. I know personally myself, I've been having a hard time even meditating recently, and I've really been having to get on myself just because there have been a lot of distractions and stuff. But I've definitely noticed that it is far harder for me to get out of my mind recently than it is normally. So I don't know if you other air signs are picking up on that right now. I know based on astrological influences right now, Geminis are being hit pretty hard. So if you have Gemini placements, maybe you're picking up on what I've been picking up on as well. But it says that you are meant to create blessings with your magic. So like I said, I do believe that this dead end happened to redirect you so that you could start going in the direction of your blessings and your creative pursuits. So try to use this scenario and this situation to like motivate you to step more into your power here, into your magic, more into your creativity, and more into your true calling and your true path. Use this and really channel the energy as much as you can to promote yourself, to motivate yourself, to do whatever you have to do to push yourself to your creative pursuits. Like, all right, this was confusing, but what I'm not about to be confused about is my next steps for myself. You know what I mean? So let's read from the guidebook here to see if we get any more messages from the Spirit Animal Oracle card. It says the white Sag is revered in many myths and cultures. To the Celts, I'm guessing they mean Celtics, the majestic white Sag was the one who moved between the worlds. To Christians, Sag represented Christ and the miracle of rebirth and renewal. To some, Sag was fertility and abundance. White Sag is often compared to the sacred white buffalo for its connection to the Great Spirit. It is usually agreed that if white Sag appears to you in your dreams, meditations, or the physical world, it is powerful medicine. Sag, as a totem, belongs to old souls. Sag people sense that they have been down this earth road before. It says, if white Sag is your totem, you will feel intimately linked to nature. and need its solace. You are a natural leader and will feel the need to guide and protect the vast magic of the woodland and those who dwell there. White Sag are people who are connected to nature spirits and feel their presence. You are intuitive and can often sense the future. See? And that's what I was saying, is like, I think you thought you knew the path that you were on and thought you had it kind of figured out. And now that this dead end has happened, you're like, well, wait a minute. I thought I knew what was happening next. I thought I knew, and it's left you definitely in your mind and feeling like a tad bit defeated. Like, how did I not see this? Like I said. It says, your crown of horns, like branches from a tree reaching upward, grows even higher in a quest for spiritual knowing. If Sag is your medicine, you have more blessings than you know, more knowledge than you imagine, and more magic than you ever believed. So yeah, the universe is showing you that, like, this is not the end. This is a redirection. As upset as the ego is, and we all have ego, it's no problem, you know what I mean? But as sad as our ego is right now for not, like, seeing this and for being fooled or whatever the case may be, take it how it applies. It's like our higher self is really, like, coaxing us through this right now, and kind of reassuring us, like, on a soul level, like, this is okay and everything's gonna be okay. And so I feel like, however preoccupied you are with your internal conflict here, because like I said, the ego is bruised a little bit, but the higher self is compensating for that hurt right now. It says Sag people sense that they have been down this earth road before, so it's like your higher self knows why things happen the way they did, even if they don't make sense logically, and you can't, like I said, go back through that book in the first card, right? You can't go back through the book and see, like, oh, okay, where did I drop the ball? Where did this go wrong? Even though you can't find the details and you can't, and I think you want that because it's going to help you with the closure, right? But I think you need to be okay with, like, not having that. Like, I don't think it's going to make sense necessarily. Like, sometimes people just do shit. Like, that's what my dad told me. Some people are just emotionally driven. Sometimes there really is no reason behind something. And as air signs, we like to know the reasoning behind stuff, right? Because we do stuff for a reason. So when people don't do things for a reason, it really confuses us and leaves us in a mental state of confusion and has us start to overanalyze things that possibly don't even need to be analyzed, right? Because they didn't even analyze it in the first place. So I say all that to say, it's okay to be in the spot that you're in right now. The cards all indicate that you will come out of that very soon. I think all air signs need time to process things, and you're just in a processing phase right now and are probably in hermit mode a little bit in order for you to do that and hear your thoughts and feel your feelings in the way that you are used to processing things. Not all signs process things the way that air signs do, so take this time for yourself to do that. And soon enough, you will see what path this is ultimately leading you down now, or where it has allowed you to end up, now that you ended up at the corner or the dead end or whatever. You're going to start seeing very soon here why you ended up at the dead end. You're going to see the reroute very soon. You're going to see why you were rerouted. Your higher self is guiding you right now to the reroute and through the reroute, I want to say. So do the work that you need to do. There is the Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here. You are totally able to rewrite your story. You're able to rewrite your legacy. You're able to feel again. You're able to rebirth yourself. This dead end is not the end. Anything, it's shedding you of everything that you need to get rid of. Like, she's naked here. She just has like a sheet that she's kind of barely holding up over herself. It's like you need to shed all this stuff to really step into this chapter that you were meant to step into. Like, the chapter that the universe is redirecting you to. So there is growth coming from this. All of these, in the Eight of Pentacles here, all of the pictures depicted in here are within a tree source right here. So there is growth coming from this, and new foundations that will be set and nourished due to this. And yeah, not all is lost. Definitely, this is like a brand new beginning. Don't see it. Any ending is a beginning, right? So try your hardest to view it that way and alter your perception of this ending as much as you can to get out of your mental conflict. I know it's easier said than done. Easier said than done. I know. All right, let's move on. All right, Earth signs. I don't know why Spirit is asking me to ask you all this, but are you mad at somebody? Like, I feel like y'all are mad at somebody. I don't know why, but I just keep hearing that. Like, y'all mad. Y'all mad with somebody, something. Y'all mad. I don't know. Maybe you're too hot or some shit. I don't know where you guys are at right now or how the weather is. I just feel like you're like irritated or something. I don't know. Well, let's see what these cards say. Actually, pretty much all of, I think all but one, all but the very last card, all flipped out when I was shuffling, turned over. So I've seen almost pretty much all of them besides the last one. But your first one was the Aquarius card. It was the star card. I feel like you are really pouring into your own world. As you can see, she's literally pouring into the world right here. You're pouring into your own self, your own passions, your own energy. And you're really seeing like the great amenities that come from self-love and loving yourself and pouring into yourself. You know, it's like the law of attraction. They say, you know, what you put out into the world, you give. And she's literally giving all of these jewels and nutrients back into the world here because she knows that, like, that good energy is going to come back to her. Like, that karma is going to come back to her. That dharma, I should say, right? I think karma is bad and dharma is good or something. But basically she understands that what she gives, she'll receive, right? So she's very conscientious and aware of what she is pouring into and who she is pouring into and what she is pouring into, because her future is bright here, right? She's the star. Like, you're literally the star card. Like, that is assured success. So you are delicate with your energy. You are delicate with your time. And I'm hearing, like, with your product, like, whatever you're working on, whatever you work on, whatever you is like your source of income or whatever, you are like delicate with that as well. Like, you care a lot about what you're putting out into the world, you know? So if you're a creative and you have like your own business or something, you care a lot about how your product looks, the quality of your product, all of that. You know, for example, that you're not going to get a great client base if your product is crappy, right? That goes back into, like, you know that what you pour in, you're going to get back. So you're ensuring that, like, whatever product you're putting out, whatever energy you're putting out is good, right? Is quality. It has sustenance, right? So that you gain back the support that you need and deserve, correct? So keep pouring those jewels. I think these are all jewels that she's pouring into the earth right here. Keep pouring those gems, keep pouring them jewels onto yourself, you know, drop gems on yourself, you know, because you are worth it. You're the star right here. You're the star. And then we got like the Three of Cups here. Yeah, we celebration. We sailing on to celebration here. You can see the Cancer sign in here. So there's good feelings, you know, surrounding this. This is like a prosperous journey, like financially and emotionally. Spiritually, even, I'm hearing. Yeah, all of this work and all of the pouring that you are doing into yourself and into your business or into whatever your goals are is literally sailing you, quite literally with this ship right here, sailing you into even better opportunities, into great unions, into better networks, expanding your horizons. Like excuse me, sails. Boats literally sail over the horizon, right? You're literally creating new horizons, new opportunities for yourself by pouring into yourself. Like it's all coming back, and you readily knew that going into it, right? You're like, you know, the law of attraction, you know, what you put into the universe comes back to you, right? So you've been doing that, and you're literally sailing off into celebration right now. You will be able to grab those cups and drink from your cups and never have to worry about them like being empty again because you've been doing the work. Next we got Prince of Swords, Mutable Air, it says at the top. Yeah, it's like you're going for it. Knights are about the action like a prince is the knights in this deck. They call the knights princes in here. But yeah, the knights are about that action. They're about swiftness. I think you are keeping a good handle on your thoughts and also like the people around you, like you're being very conscious of the people around you and what's being said to you, like you're cutting off anybody that has some stupid shit to say about your goals or about your self-care or anything. Like you're not hearing that shit, you're about to cut it off. Like the Prince of Swords here has a sword, like you're about to cut that shit off. You know that that's detrimental to your mental process and your motivation, so you're not going to allow not only any negative talk from yourself about your goals going forward and your inability to do them. You're not going to let your inner critic discourage you, but you're not going to let anybody else discourage you or convince you mentally that you're not capable of doing what you've already been doing, you know? Yeah, I keep hearing the word like swift. Like I feel like you've been having to make like swift, quick moves and decisions, I think. And the Gemini sign is in here, so that has to do with like duality. I think even the little baby twins is depicted in the bottom here, kind of within the clouds here. Yeah, it's like the Gemini constellation, it's the twins, yeah. So you are really having to, well, not having to, but it's like you're really showing people right now the level of duality that you have obtained and created for yourself. Also, simultaneously getting better at being in that duality yourself because it's still like relatively new for you, right? You're getting more and more powerful in this duality that you found for yourself. And maybe because you're feeling more grounded, right, in your pursuits, or you're seeing more progress in your pursuits or your goals or whatever. It's like making you even mentally stronger, right? With the Prince of Swords here. It's giving you more confidence to state your boundaries, maintain your boundaries, have boundaries, point blank, period. And then say what you need, say what you don't want, say no. Really stepping into your like, I can be soft, but I can be hard. Like, don't get it twisted. You know, you're really stepping into that. Like, don't think because I'm successful here and that I got shit together that I'm not gonna cut off your bullshit when it comes to me. Like, that's kind of where you're sitting right now. The boat is like literally sailing into the Prince of Swords right here, and the Prince of Swords is going right into the boat. So it's like, so I think you're about to cut away or like just yeah, just block whatever um could like impede like the boat right here, right? You're like, I'm traveling, I'm healed, I'm on a boat, I'm on my journey, but don't think here for a second with the Prince of Swords that you're just about to say whatever or speak some mess to me and you're just about to come up on the boat because I got a big ass boat and there's room. Like, I still won't let you on the boat. I don't have to let you on the boat. That's where you're at. That's how I'm feeling. So you are mad at someone. I knew it. I knew it. Somebody ain't allowed on the boat. Yeah, next is the Five of Wands. Somebody ain't allowed on the boat, man. Five of Wands. That's conflict. Like almost in every, I want to say, tarot, it's like conflict. Five of Wands is conflict. Yeah, somebody want to hop on the boat. Somebody want what you have. Somebody's jealous of what you have, and you're not letting them hop on the boat. Like they said some slick shit. They said some dumb shit that got them uninvited. Basically, it's like they ain't invited to the cookout. They're mad. They're mad about it. Um, but with the Prince of Swords here, it sounds like it was their dumbass words that got them uninvited. So the only person they really have to be mad at is themselves. We got the Jupiter symbol and also what the Leo symbol right in there too with the like a chalice or something. Yeah, I'm sensing that somebody like blew some shit out of proportion. Like Jupiter is about expansion. Or maybe somebody made some shit about themselves. Not saying Leos are self-centered or nothing like that. I'm just saying I think which element was it that I was talking about? The first one, the fire in the fire elements. I was speaking about Leo, but Leo is represented by the sun, which is our identity and stuff. So maybe somebody made something about themselves or whatever, and that created this conflict between you two. Or like I said, they blew something out of the proportion that really didn't need to be that big. Yeah, and now there's like a retract in energy I'm hearing. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I feel like, and you're at the point where you're like you'll put this fight to rest. Not in the sense of like you'll give up or you'll wave your white flag or no shit like that. That's definitely not what I'm fucking saying. But what I am saying is like this chalice is above like the Five of Wands right here, right? So it's like you'll lay down these wands to go after your chalice and your cup. Like, why the fuck not? You know what I'm saying? Like, you work too damn hard. That's what I was saying in the beginning. Like, you are literally about to cut away anybody who's about to jeopardize your ship. Anybody that's about to hate on you on your own ship ain't getting a fucking ride. Why would they? That's weirdo shit. You want to hate on me and have my fucking ride too and be in my fucking passenger seat? That shit's weird. Get the fuck out of here. That's some weirdo shit. Y'all can be on that shit, but I'm not about that shit. It's just like me and my best friend were talking about earlier. Like, if we don't like you, we don't like you. And if you've said some mess, like, I definitely don't know why you think you deserve a spot on the ship. You don't. So you're putting these wands aside as in like you're not even paying attention to this fucking conflict right now. Or you're trying your hardest not to because you're like, nah, I'm not about to let this shit distract me from my fucking chalice, from my end goal. Like I'm not about to let nobody distract me on my ship. Like that shit don't even make sense. So it's like you're basically like ending an argument with somebody in a way, not in a way that you're giving up, but as in like, bitch, I'm not even about to argue with you. Like I'm not even about to argue with you. Because this chalice above these fucking five wands is the real motherfucking goal. Like, these five wands ain't got shit on the chalice above it. You know what I mean? That's where it's really at. So, yeah. Ooh, the two of wands. Yeah, so make a choice. Two of wands here. Make a choice here. And honestly, I think you have. You've already decided to not deal with this shit, really. Um, but the two of wands does, like, indicate, like, some type of decision needing to be made. And it might need to be a quick one. The sun, there's a sun symbol in here and an Aries symbol here, which is fire energy. So it may need to be a quick decision. And with the Prince of Swords earlier that we got, I don't think you'll have a problem making this quick decision because the Prince of Swords, like I said, like knights are like swift. Princes are swift, like they're quick, right? And you're already embodying that energy, so I don't think it's going to be that difficult for you to make this quick decision. I think the only thing you're keeping in mind is I'm hearing like somebody's feelings, like I don't know, like hurting somebody's feelings, I guess. Like there's like this creature above right here, and it's just giving me the sense of like you could literally bite somebody's head off. Like And maybe that's what you're deciding. Maybe you're deciding, like, should I bite their head off or should I just, like, let them have what I already gave them and just keep it pushing, you know? Yeah, I'm sensing maybe you're dealing with like a fire sign, maybe they need to swallow their pride. I'm hearing, or maybe that's you. I'm sensing it's them though. I'm feeling like a conflict was brought to you. And now it's like at the forefront, right? Aries is like the first of the zodiac, and the sun is like your identity. It's like in your face. So maybe it's like at the forefront and like trying to make itself a priority. And this is indicating that you definitely need to be choosing like your own priorities and reverting back into your that first card, the star card here, and choosing you. Yeah, not allowing other people's conflicts and problems to distract you. Maybe that's like literally what somebody is trying to do right now because you are on your boat, you are successful right now. And you know, when you are successful, that's when people come out to hate. So they're trying to give you some shit to think about or act like you have like some decision that you need to make. I don't know. Take it however it resonates. Ooh. So for your spirit animal oracle card, we got the ladybug in reverse, and I actually haven't pulled any of the oracle cards in reverse, not for the spirit animal at least. So there is I'll read it in the guidebook when I pull out the guidebook and go over it. There is like some contrary. So if you do pull it upside down, there is some differences and I'll read those off. But on the card, it says, you are a bright energy. Let worry go and be happy here and now. Feel good about being loving and colorful. Feel good about being a loving and colorful you. You bless the world with color and good luck. All right. So I'm going to read the overall general description out of the guidebook, and then I'll read the contrary, which indicates further messages that it could mean when the card is in the reversal like this. So it says, the arrival of the ladybug is always an omen of good luck. The person with the ladybug tomen is usually a lively and colorful companion. You are a bringer of joy. You are trustworthy, easygoing, and happy. Ladybug people remind others to let things flow at a natural pace. Ladybug urges you to leave your worries behind. See? Leave your worries behind. You're sailing away. And know that in due time your dreams will come true. See? Your dreams, the star card. Ladybug medicine asks you to be true to yourself and teaches you that you can never be happy living someone else's idea of life. The name Ladybug came from the association of the Virgin Mary, Lady of Heaven. Ladybugs have often been tied to spiritual devotion, and those with this totem do well with daily meditation or prayer. Ladybugs have a short life cycle and reproduce many times each season. This links them to energies of renewal and abundance. If a ladybug wanders into your life, know that good luck and cheerfulness are just around the corner. So yeah, guys, whatever this conflict is or whatever bullshit somebody's trying to bring to you, or maybe they're just mad because they weren't invited on the boat, so they're trying to bring even more bullshit to you now because they were not invited on the boat. Yeah, let that shit go. It says in the contrary, so in the reversal it means don't let worry ruin your happiness. Life is too short, seize the day. Do not despair, joy is everywhere. And do not let others dim your colors. Yeah, don't let whatever this person's conflict or issue with you or whatever the fuck it is, drain you and dim you to the point where you don't even have any energy to, like I said, either do whatever you were originally pouring into, whatever you were stable with before this conflict happened. Like, don't allow this conflict to further retract you and distract you from the work that you were doing and the progress that you were making and the goal that you have in mind going forward. And I do think that you are going to be doing that because at the bottom of the deck here, we have the Queen of Cups, which is like fixed water. It has a Scorpio card, or not Scorpio card. It has a Scorpio symbol within it. And the Queen of Cups is like in control of her emotions. She sits back and lets people be a fool. And it's not that she don't care and she'll just like let you cry, but at the same time, if it's like a petty emotion or an immature reaction to something, like she's just gonna let you sit back and like work that shit out. Cause she knows she's the queen of cups, she's Scorpio, she's the depths, you know, so she's done the work, you know, so she's aware that if you are showcasing these immature emotions, that you haven't done the work, right? That's clear at that point, right? Because you would be able to meet her at her level in the depths where she lies at, you know, at the bottom of the ocean. You would be able to meet her there, but you can't. When I say you, I mean them, obviously. Yeah, it's like she is sitting back, just letting whoever or whatever play out. It's like she's literally like, okay, you done? You good? Okay. Because this is somebody who's like I said, she is aware of her emotions, she knows and she's in control of her emotions, so she's not going to speak messily, she's not going to speak like messy, she's not going to speak like in over dramatics, you know what I mean? Like she's going to state feelings and go from there. This is like, you know, not, yeah, it's like not beating around the bush. Like if you were worried before about like being too harsh on somebody or hurting somebody's feelings or like devouring them or whatever, I don't think you have to worry about that. With the Queen of Cups here, it really shows that you are poised and secure within yourself and your emotions. So if that person feels devoured or feels defeated, that's kind of on them because, like I said in the, I think it was like the air sign, yeah, the air sign reading, you can only do so much for somebody, you know what I mean, when you know they're sensitive to certain things, you know what I mean? Like after a certain point, you know, you can only you can only sugarcoat shit so much, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's where you're at, sitting on the throne here with the Queen of Cups. It's like, all right, well, you can meet me at the depths right here, or we can not meet. You know what I mean? Because I'm not speaking to you on any other level unless it's on some mature emotional shit. You know, like some mature shit. I'm not gonna be on no messy shit. I got a whole fucking boat right here. I'm traveling on. I'm literally going for my goals. I'm pouring into the world. I'm the motherfucking star. Like, no, I'm not doing no messy shit. And people are probably mad at you for it. Maybe that's why I was picking up that energy. Maybe somebody's mad at you, man, because you're not stepping into no drama no more. You're not entertaining no shit no more that you maybe you used to, right? And now they're like, what the fuck? You done changed. And you're like, nah, I'm just not feeling that anymore. I'm not built like that. I'm not the type, you know? And so maybe they think you're on some funny shit or you done changed or whatever, you know? And you're sitting back poised right now, like, nah, I'm not about to let you manipulate me into going back into some old ways of being or convince me that, like, the way that I've changed isn't for the better because you know that it's for the better. You know that you've done it for the better. So I honestly think people are just jealous right now because your growth is evident, it's apparent, it's prominent, it's in their face. And that makes people uncomfortable, especially when they're not growing and they're stagnant and they're still in the same shit and you're progressing and they're literally like in the same shit, still don't have shit, still complaining about the same shit, still, you know what I mean? Like nothing's different, you know? So people will lash out at you like subconsciously or unknowingly, because you're progressing and they're not. So yeah, I'm trying to see if I am hearing anything else for you earth signs here. I don't think so. I'm hearing my Tauruses need to get out in nature. Y'all need to get out in nature. Maybe go take a hike or something. I'm hearing. Or if you can't like physically hike, maybe even like take like a little road trip or something if you have a car. Like just get out in nature in some type of scenic area to where you can realize how small you are again in this world, right? It's like a humbling kind of experience. I think seeing how beautiful the world is and having that reconnection is really going to help. Yeah, I'm just hearing Taurus. Like I keep hearing Taurus over and over again. So I think my Tauruses need a little extra attention and love right now, possibly. I think Taurus is a fixed sign, isn't it? Yeah, they're fixed just like this Scorpio and this Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck card here. Um, which means that you can be habitual, which isn't like a bad thing or anything, but I'm just pointing that out to recommend that you should do something to get yourself out of like your normal routine. I think that would be really helpful for you, Tauruses. Like I'm feeling like maybe you're like in some type of funk right now, and I think that that will help you get out of your funk. I think you need to break a habit, do something random, do something spontaneous to get that spark back. I feel like you're so drained from possibly like if it is this conflict, like I picked up for the other earth signs here, then if you are exhausted, do something spontaneous and random to get that spark back, get that life back in you, get that motivation back in you. Um, like I said, nature is always great for Tauruses, or earth signs in general. But I'm definitely hearing nature would be very beneficial for Taurus placements, especially like I think the Taurus suns I'm hearing, and rising. Taurus rising if you're a Taurus, or Venus, Taurus Venus. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. And if y'all do go out there, really pay attention to the animals. See what animals you look up, or not look up, see what animals you see, and then look at and see like any spiritual meaning behind the animals. Even if it's just a crow, like sometimes we don't even realize like the little things, you know what I mean, can be little symbols. So yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I just picked that up for Taurus. That message might be for somebody specific. I don't know. It's going to reach whoever it is supposed to reach. But I believe that is all the messages that I received for you, Earth signs. All right. That's it. All right, everyone. Those are all of the messages that I received for you. I hope that they all resonated. And if they didn't, no worries. Maybe the next ones will. Please do not forget to contact me if you would like a personal reading or if you would like to leave me a donation. All of that information can be found in the description box below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And I look forward to seeing you all next time. All right, bye-bye.